Welcome back to Archicad in minutes. In our previous lesson, we'll look at how to put dimension and how to set your dimension. So in today's lesson, we'll look at how to put in your grid lines. So coming down to documents and to grid line. In grid line, you have a floor plan. How does it look like? Do you want it with both end with the ID, or you just want it single? If you want one side to be plain without the grid line ID, is either you uncheck this or you uncheck this. And this one, whether you want it to be end to end, not completely solid. And then this one, if you want a different line for it, I prefer to keep this one as plain as possible. Then how do you want to see it? Do you want to see it on all the stories, or you want to see it on a selected grid lines levels? Then for my elevation, I usually take off the lower one, and then I control this one based on my building height. If my building height is more than 10 meters, then definitely you are going to increase this one. So most of the times when you put one, you can check it in elevation or section to know whether it is okay, or you can put everything and then highlight your grid lines and then you edit them automatically. Whichever one you do is okay. But by default, this one I used to make it to 2 meters because I know my foundation will not exceed more than that 4 meters. But if you are dealing with basement, it will change. This one you can manually edit it, and then the marker size I basically put it at 5. (3D) view, if you want to see your grid line in 3D, you click OK. So by my own method, I usually take 13 meters away. For example, 4 meters. So I extend. I have to click on Shift and hold so that I will have it well placed and uniformly. I have this as 4 meters. And if you're dealing with a cantilever, you need to be mindful. Are you taking it from a cantilever or not? So I can pick parameter from this and then extend. So once I do this, I will have what we call, I will multiply. So this I will make sure that it is at the center, because I'm using center to center wall. So I'm taking it point by point. I'm going to take it to this point. I'm going to take it to this point again. Then you can have one here. So I think this one is okay. Then we can have this. No, it's not at the center. So make sure that you place it at the center. Or what you can do, you can pick it from this inner side and then make sure that this is here. And you pick it from this point and make sure it is here. And then we adjust this. So we have it. So we change this one. 1, 2. The x-axis, we make them in numbers. 3, 4, and we have it 5. And this one, we have it A, B, C, D. In this case, if I want, I can call this one D prime, E, and then I have this as F. And then I have my grid lines showing. So let's come to one of our section, and then we see, so it's even high above our building. So now we can assume from this point, maybe we'll have it as 2 meter. So 2 meter, we are looking at 8. So we can highlight our grids, Control A, and then we change these to 8 meters. And then we have our grid lines. If you come to elevation, you have the grid lines showing in elevation. And then in this case, we have our elevations. And then you can have what we call grid dimension. You can have it as grid dimension, and then you make it to be thicker. And then the outer dimension, you can make it thicker. So finish the remaining dimension for all the sides and then the grid lines. And in our next video, we'll look at how to place the furnitures, how to place the bed, the dining, the couch, and then the kitchen arrangement. We are going to use not the preset kitchen layout. We are going to model the kitchen layout at the end of the day. This is Archicad in minutes. See you in our next video when we talk about object tool.